Okay, coming up last is Ali McDowell, who is the co-founder of Positive Planner. It's all about journaling. I have one. You should probably get one. I love Ali. Here we go. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Hello everybody, I'm the last one, so sorry if you're waiting to go. I am the co-founder of the Positive Planner. It was born from a personal experience from my postnatal depression, which I managed to get through in my own way, but I found writing really helpful. Mostly because a lot of the things that we experience with depression and anxiety and other mental health illnesses is shame, and I think that writing is a way that you can express how you feel without feeling that you're burdening anyone, because I do think that that is something that comes with it, is you feel like a burden. So I found it a really good way of articulating my own feelings, and then I was able to see them in front of me and then vocalise them to other people and reach out for help. So it was a definite turning point for me. So they look like this. We're trying to make them friendly because we want to, well, I found that there was nothing on the market that was a product that could act as my buddy and my friend and something that lived by my side of my bed. And I now, it's part of my ritual. So feel free to come and have a look. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because I don't have a huge amount of time. But the other thing that I did find was with mental health, there's not a lot of things out there that you can send to other people when they're struggling. So we find it's a really good way to open up conversations as well. So if you want to write a personal note in your package with your Positive Planner to a friend or family member, you can pop a little thinking of you postcard in there and you can write your own notes to your family or friend. I'm just going to read a little bit about it. So we've created a 12-week mindful gratitude journal specifically geared towards mental health. We currently have an adult one on the market and that is frequently bought for teenagers, and now in the process of developing one that could be aimed at children to do, to be done with parents or carers alongside the child. Today I want to talk about the importance of putting in the time to link thoughts to paper. The unbelievable benefits, as Linda has said, of journaling is just so empowering, and I think it's something that we take for granted. Writing is a free tool that we can all do. We all can have paper at home and we can all have pens. So that's one of the things that we really like to encourage, and I try and do with my children all the time, is colouring and writing. So I think it opens up conversations while your mind is engaging on something else, like colouring. Such a simple thing that actually I did with an adult friend recently when I went to see him when he's struggling. And I said, well, why don't we just get out the colouring books? And we did that. And it was a way of him not sitting straight in front of me and talking to me about his problems, but we were able to engage through that. So that was really good. So I definitely say colouring. And that's obviously another free and amazing tool that we can do. There's also colouring in the Positive Planner because I love it. And I think it's a very mindful thing to do to make sure you feel like you're in the present. So in the programme, we've got a couple of tools that are in the planner. I'm going to run through the Braintangle with you just because that's been our most successful tool that we've done. So first of all, the first one is the mirror, which is on page 16. This is something you can do with your child, and obviously it's in here, so all you have to do is get a pen tonight if you wanted to. It's all about self-worth, so it's about looking in the mirror. What do you see? We've talked a lot about that today, and we encourage children, adults, to basically try and see what others see in themselves. So it's all about feeling a bit more confident. What are you made of? And I think that's really important. So that's one of the ones. The other thing on the other side is just positive affirmations, which we haven't really touched on today, but we sort of have talked throughout. It's all about mantras. We talk about mantras in the Positive Planner quite a lot, and it's about assessing your anxious thoughts as passing clouds, if you like. So you can sort of say, well, they come and they go, but sometimes interrupting that thought with a positive mantra can be really powerful. So something like the one that's in there, I believe in my own ability, or I am resilient. I think that's a really good one. So trying to encourage our children and teenagers to have the ability to create mantras, I think that's really, really important, because we don't really get taught how to do it. I've only just learned how to do that, so that's a definite positive way that you can assess a negative thought. So I'm going to run you through how to do a Braintangle, which I'm very proud to say I did actually create this. So what you'll find on page 14 is a funny looking thing. You can, if you have a pen, scribble all over the page. Basically what it's asking you to do is to run across through a plain piece of paper. You don't have to have my book to do it. You can just use A4 paper and a pen. So you have the example in front of you, and what you're looking for is it to look a little bit like this at the end. It's somewhere between a art therapy and a sort of interacting with your emotions exercise. So it loosens you up. First of all, you put the cross through the middle, so you've got 4 sections. You get your pen and you literally scribble all over the page, just go crazy. And that can be the first part for loosening up and talking about your emotions. I did this with my partner the other day and he really enjoyed it. It really helped him with his stresses at work. So do it with anybody. It works to sort of help work out pragmatic solutions. So the first section is I am feeling. Something we don't do a lot is express exactly how we're feeling. As adults, we sort of ask our children to do it, but we don't do it ourselves. So this is a good practice to do if you're going to do it with your child. So, you might be feeling sad or guilty or any of the things that you can really pinpoint. That's the first section to do. You move over to number 2, and this is all about, often there isn't a because, but sometimes there is, and sometimes it's really good to try and work out why you're feeling that way. So that's more of a something that's happened, circumstances, that sort of thing. And this bit can kind of be quite insightful for you as well, because you might not have put your finger on why you're feeling a certain way. So then we're moving down and we're going to what I need. And I think sometimes that could be something physical or that could be something emotional. So it could be, I need to reach out, I really need to talk to somebody about this, or maybe I just need to accept this feeling and try and move on, or this is actually one that I did. I'm trying not to read it out because it's actually quite personal. Yeah, so it could be a number of things that what you need. You need to be around someone that you love, or you need some time on your own. Whatever it might be, you need something usually. And then the last one is how can I get it? So this is your action plan. This last one that moves across. This is your headlines. So this is, right, what am I going to do? What is my plan? We heard about making a plan earlier, and I think that that's kind of where it's come from really, is me engaging with the fact that I might have felt desperate, but I had a bit of hope, and planning and journaling helped me look forwards into the future, and I think that was really, really key for me. So this is kind of more about, it might be as simple as going to an aerobic session and trying to just feel a little bit looser, or it might be that you really need an early night and you're just so tired and you need to sleep. They can be very, very simple solutions that are all sort of to do with self-care, and that's something we talk about a lot. So yeah, has anybody got any questions? Is that okay? Did I do 10 minutes?
Legend. Yes, she knows exactly what she's doing. Any questions for lovely Ali? Self-explanatory.
Fine.
All good.
Feel free to come and ask me any questions at the back. I'm going to be standing there for a bit, and you can have a flick through the planner as well.
Okay, so that's the adult ones. And that's
This is the adult one. We are at the moment developing the next one, so we're doing one for teenage and for children, and actually a more male-friendly one as well. So that should be an interesting one to work on.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ali. Cheers.
Hey, so I just wanted to say thank you very much to everyone who spoke, to all of the NIPS women who are working with me today. You've made it all very easy and lovely, and it's felt like such a dynamic, brilliant space to be in, so thank you. Even if none of that was new to you, hopefully it was nice to hear people talking about it all together. And if you want to share stuff at the next seminar, that's in Brighton, but like I said, we do the booklet. You could be in the booklet, you could add bits to it, or you might want to come and talk in Brighton, because who doesn't like the beach? And then after that it's Leeds, and then it's London. So yeah, sorry, I just realised it's slipping past the breasts. Anyway, look, I'm doing an Empowering Children workshop with Iris Brannan, who runs Luella and Rose, all the way at the back there. And depending on how the workshop goes, we want to try and do that a few more times and see what we can do to make children feel a bit more at ease in their own skin and confident. Ignore that. So if you want to look on our social media, you'll see links to that and when we do dates. And that's about it. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. But wait, because Hannah just wants to say one more thing.
I do. Thank you so much, Lauren, for organising this. Round of applause for Lauren being an absolute inspiration. Thank you. Am I speaking? Just a really quick one. My name's Hannah Jane. I spoke at the Bath event. I don't know if you know that, but this is what I do, and I'm also part of be.nips. I have a severe anxiety disorder, and I've had that since I was 4 years old, and I use my story to tell as an act of hope to just carry on what you're doing. So I just want to thank you all for taking the first steps to understand how much you're doing. And how much you're making an impact, and they won't know that until they're an adult. I like to push myself, and I have a challenge, and I wondered if you could help me. So, in September, I am cycling 250 miles in 4 days from Cornwall to Bristol for a Bristol-based charity called Children in Africa. Malawi, which is the poorest country, one of the poorest countries in the world. Just £5 can plant, I think, 10 trees, things like that, and £13 can get a child through secondary school education for 2 months, something that we hold so dear to our hearts. If you have an Instagram handle, if you want to follow my story and see what's going on there, or if you're able to give anything, it's HannahJane_1990. I also give mental well-being things through my journey. This is something. It's had enough. But that's just a quick on the side note. And just to follow everyone's stories and be in contact with be.nips and just follow what we do. And we'd love all your feedback. Thank you so much. Hello.
I'm thrilled to be here because I got very short notice. Thank you for the ticket, Lauren. My name's Philippa Parish, and I'm a nutritional therapist. And I just think it's really interesting that nutrition wasn't covered today. If you think about serotonin, 90% of serotonin is produced within your gut. Someone was mentioning, Stacey was mentioning something about chronic inflammation. Your immune system, 80% of that is carried in your gut. Even just balancing children's blood sugar levels, making them sure they get enough protein to make their gut feel. Neurotransmitters, making sure they get a good night's sleep. Some very basic, simple things can really affect their well-being, as well as the children and the parents as well, on a very simple day-to-day level.
Nutrition is we've got 2 speakers. I've booked 2 speakers for the Brighton seminar on nutrition, and it's in the booklet. So we know we're behind it, all behind it.
Thank you so much for your thoughts. If anyone has any in mind, come and see us. Thank you so much for being here, for taking the first steps to make a much brighter, bigger future. Go on with your day, and it's lovely to meet you all. Cheers.